Hello everyone, so today is the start of my Black History Month readathon. It's exactly what it sounds like. I just read books by Black authors. I did this last year. I read Ace of Spades, Cinderella's Dead, Get a Life Chloe Brown, and The Mass Obsession, which isn't by a Black author, but I read 3 books last year and hoping to do the same this year and maybe a little bit more. So I'm going to show you the TBR that we have for this video. So these are the books that okay, let me make this look good. So these are the books that I'm planning to read this month. Definitely not going to get to all of them, considering I just don't have time, but we're going to try. I have more books in this, but I just picked these because they seem the most interesting to me right now. So first things first, we have A Psalm of Storms and Silence. Actually, like 80% into this book because I started it in January. I started this a little early because I wanted to make sure I finished this year, because I did read the first book to this, because this is the sequel. I read the first book in July of 2022, but read it and finish the series. And it's also by a Black author, so I was like, let me just get a head start. And this is also 547 pages. So I knew I definitely was not going to get to this or be able to finish it in the month of February alone. I have less than 100 pages left, so this is definitely going to get finished. I don't know if I want to go and explain it. Her name is Karina and his name is Malik. Karina's mother is the queen of Zeron, but she got assassinated and she wants to resurrect her because that means that Karina is next in line for the throne. She does not see herself as fit to being queen, so she wants to resurrect her mother. To resurrect her mother, she needs like quite a few materials, so she can get the materials pretty quickly, except the heart of a king. So she needs that. Here we have Malik. Malik's sister gets taken by some god named the Faceless King or Idir. So she gets taken by him, and the god tells him that the only way that he can get his sister back is if he kills the queen of Zeron, which is now Karina. So then there's this event that happens occasionally, I guess, called Solista, and it's basically where people battle out. Wait, I guess this happens every time like there's a new queen. Interesting. But basically a bunch of people gather together from all these different elements because they're like magic, I think. Isn't this the sequel? You don't know what's going on. But yeah, so a bunch of people get together and they fight out basically the Hunger Games, and whoever wins becomes the spouse to Karina. Malik's like, I have to join this because I have to kill Karina to get her heart because I need the queen's heart. Or no, he has to kill her to get his sister back. Why am I mixing up the storylines? And this works out for Karina because whoever wins Solista, she's gonna kill so she can resurrect her mother. So they're both basically having to kill each other. What ends up happening is they actually start to form a connection some way, somehow. There's this other guy who's basically like Karina's like right-hand man, brother type of connection. And so Karina did have a sister, but Karina killed her sister. She also killed her father, but that doesn't really matter. So yeah, so Karina killed her sister by accident. Her brother's name is Farid. Farid was in love with Hanan, which is the name of Karina's sister. And the winner of Solista does not end up being Malik. Karina chooses this other guy because she actually likes Malik so much that she doesn't want him to die. And Farid actually kills the other guy so he can resurrect her sister Hanan, the girl that he fell in love with. Malik, on the other hand, he actually does kill Karina. He gets his sister back, but somehow Karina resurrects herself and she's alive. Now, she left Zeron because all these people wanted to kill her, including Farid, and Malik is working with Farid, the guy that resurrected Hanan, Karina's sister. All happened in the first book, and this book is just the events happening after that. Karina trying to get control of her city. There's all these natural disasters and sicknesses happening to the whole world that they're in because of the fact that Hanan was resurrected. So Karina's trying to stop that. Malik is trying to actually get Karina because you need a queen's heart to stop whatever's happening. So he's kind of trying to kill her again, and that's where we're at. Hopefully that made some sort of sense. Next book that's on my TBR is Wash Day Diaries. This is a graphic novel. I've never read a graphic novel before, but this is about, I think, 4 friends in New York. It says 5, but there's 4 people. 5 interconnected short comics follow 4 friends through the ups and downs of their daily lives in the Bronx. Nice! So this should be crazy relatable, and it talks about the personal experience of Black women's hair care, and they talk about dating, friendship, and just self-care. So I think this is gonna be really fun. This shouldn't take me long because it's like a graphic novel. Hopefully, God only knows. Then we have What the Fireflies Knew by Kai Harris. From what I remember, this is about a girl whose, I think, entire family dies, and she gets sent to live with her grandfather, I'm pretty sure. Or like maybe everyone in her life sucks. So this book is basically a coming-of-age novel told by almost 11-year-old Kenyatta Bernice as she and her sister try to make sense of their new life with their estranged grandfather in the wake of their father's death and their mother's disappearance. Interesting read, actually. Then we have Nobody's Magic. This is by Destiny O. Birdsong. From what I remember, this is about 3 albino sisters, and basically they all fall in love with these 3 guys, and it goes through each person's experience dating and I guess and self-discovery. Nice. And then finally we have Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. This was pretty popular on TikTok. If you hear a dog barking, just ignore it. But it's about 2 fathers going after the killers of their gay sons. They both didn't accept their sons. One was Black, one was white. It's a journey of these 2 fathers trying to go see who the heck killed their sons, because the police aren't doing anything because 1, they're gay, and 2, probably because there's a Black person involved. Let's be real. Pretty sure there's a lot of homophobia, racism, probably other triggering stuff in here. And I'm pretty sure by the end they start to like get an understanding for each other, or maybe they become friends. Who knows? But I guess I'll find out. I'm actually gonna finish A Psalm of Storms and Silence, and then for the next read, I don't know, but let's just go at this one book at a time. I'll see you guys when I finish this book. Alright guys, so I just finished A Psalm of Storms and Silence. This was a good book. I actually thoroughly enjoyed this. I gave the first book a 3.5 star. I'm gonna give this a 4 or 4.25. I feel like everything in here was meant to be in here. Like this book was about 550 pages. I never felt like a scene or a part was just added in here to just be in here and make it long, or maybe make something more complex. Like everything in here made sense and was needed to further the story. I did wish that there was a little more action. We did get a kind of battle scene at the end there, but I just wish there was a little more. We had some when Karina was in the market with Karakal, Ife, and Afua, and then Malik when he was like, I guess, fighting Farid. Malik's chapters were kind of boring. Oops. Karina's chapters were where the action was, and I feel like more stuff was moving. It was faster paced. Malik was just very like in his thoughts. What is he thinking? What is he doing? I don't really care. I do wish that the book delved into the powers more. In Shadow and Bone, Lee Bardugo made sure that you understood Alina's powers, and the thing is we were learning about her powers the same time she was, but Karina had these powers and she knew of them all this time. She knew she had powers, but she like forgot that she had powers because she had stopped using them for so long because it killed her father and sister. But then in this book she starts using them, and you don't really understand the extent of her power. She is Wind Align Zawenji, is that how you say it? But we don't know like what she can do. I think it would have been really helpful to the reader if there was a scene dedicated to just all the stuff she can do. And this is also a thing. Karakal, he's one of my favorite characters. He's also Wing Align Zawenji, and Karina asks him, hey, can you help me? He's like, sorry, I don't teach. And then she finally gets him to teach her. We never got that scene, so I'm kind of curious and interested to see that. Actually, yeah, I think that would have helped us, instead of she would just be like, she and it's just like, can I like know what she can do, instead of just being thrusted into this action scene and she's just doing all this stuff. Like with Malik, we got that with Malik in the first book, and also in this book we understand that he can create illusions. They become actually tangible in this book, and also he can make himself disappear. We know this. And also like he can summon like a blade in his hand and like kill people. We know this because it was explained in the first book and went into a little more depth into this book. Why couldn't the same be done for Karina? Interesting. Something that I did like about this book, I just loved all the characters. They felt developed. You understood all the connections between them. You can just feel the stakes and, you know, how high tension everything is. You know what I mean? What was lacking in the first book though saved this book was Care Call and Ife. They just brought a refreshing, sarcastic element to the book, which the first book did not have. The first book was very boring. This was more fun. A lot more tense, dark stuff happened in this book. It was also fun. There was elements of just funny characters, funny moments. I don't remember laughing at all in A Song of Wraith and Ruin, which is unfortunate, but this book was definitely better than the first. I definitely did enjoy this. Oops, I also forgot about I forgot to talk about the romance. So we all know that I said that I didn't believe it. Do I? Not really. I just don't feel the chemistry. But towards the end, like, they did have some really cute moments, and they have been through literally hell and back. God help them. Give them peace. But they're alright. They're okay. Are they the best couple I've read about? No. Are they cute? Barely. For my second read, this is a contender because this is like a different style. This is kind of short. This is like 270. I think I'm actually gonna read this. And then this is like 319, which isn't bad. This is saying heist novel, American crime, fast paced. Ew, I do not like the font. Wait, if this has short chapters, I'm reading this immediately. This has short chapters. Okay, guys, so I think we need to change the speed, and I think I'm gonna read Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. I think this is gonna be fun. Am I gonna be able to read this at night? Interesting. It's gonna be between one of these. Hey guys, so major setback, major plot twist. I'm sick. I was sick in that cleaning up my TBR video. Can't even watch that video because it just reminds me of when I was sick. I was like deathly ill. Oh my god, I was like sick for a week. Thought I was literally dying. But yeah, now I'm sick again, which is really cute, and I actually really love that. But why am I sick? Yeah, it kind of hurts to talk. But I did have an update for you. I did, in fact, start Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. I think I'm like 25 pages in. I am liking it so far. I like the vibes and everything. But remember, I forget in which video I said, I always like update you guys at the 20-page mark. And I'm like, I really like this. Like, I can see this being a 5-star. Babe, I'm not doing that. I just like the first 20 pages. I feel like this is gonna be fun. It is fast-paced, short chapters. It's my thing so far. Final Offer by Lauren Asher did come out a few days ago, and I did buy it on ebook, and I'm really tempted to read it. I think I'm just gonna read it. I feel like I deserve it because do we see my situation right now? Literally sick during Black History Month. That's not very pro-black to me. It's very anti-black, and I think by any means necessary, I need to feel better. So yeah, I might start that. I might even start reading this on ebook. I don't know why it's hard for me to like read text right now. Probably A Psalm of Storms and Silence. God, read that almost 600-page book in like 2 weeks. That's unheard of for me. But yeah, those are all the updates I have. I'll see you, hopefully. Psych. So I'm actually not reading. It's the same day, but I tried to read this, couldn't. Also, ignore the Vaseline. This is so embarrassing. I couldn't get. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. So, you know, I tried to read Razorblade Tears, but it was getting so sad, and I'm already sad because I'm sick, and I look like this. So I actually decided to pick up Nobody's Magic by Destiny O. Birdsong, about the 3 albino sisters. I'm 50 pages in, and I just started it tonight. Something's going right. Really good. It's actually divided up into 3 sections, so each section, I'm guessing, is going to be each sister. So now I'm reading, Suzette. I'm reading Suzette's story, and I'm liking it. I'll give you a synopsis of this book tomorrow. I'll go more in depth because I look insane. How's that shot? I do have an update. Isn't the color of this book so pretty? Like, and what's that? I don't know what that is, but it's pretty. So I'm 100 pages into Razorblade Tears, and I'm having a good time. It literally feels like I'm watching an action thriller mystery movie. If you guys have watched Prisoners with Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman, This is exactly like that, except there's no Jake Gyllenhaal. It has kind of elements from that movie, and yeah, it's really good. So, but I'll give you a little synopsis of what's going on. All right, so there's this man named Ike. He's an ex-con, he's black, and he owns a lawn mowing business, right? His son's name was Isaiah. He was gay, and he was married to a man named Derek. Derek's dad's name is Buddy Lee. He is also an ex-con. He is white, and he kind of doesn't really do anything. But yeah, so Derek and Isaiah, they were married, and they had a baby named Ariana, right? Mysteriously, they died, but they died pretty brutally. It was seen to be a hate crime because it was very violent in the way they died. Like, their heads were bashed in, they were shot. Obviously, Ike and Buddy are like, what happened to our sons, the son, the third. So the police are working on it, but 2 months into the investigation, the case is labeled inactive, and the police have no leads on it. So Buddy goes over to Ike and says that they should take matters into their own hands and look for their sons themselves since the police aren't doing it. Ike is like, absolutely not. I'm not getting involved in that. I'm gonna let the police handle it. And Buddy knows that Ike has had a criminal past, and they're kind of similar in that way. They're both ex-cons. They used to do some pretty inhumane things, and that's why Buddy is like, we can take care of this together, you and me, we got this. Ike really doesn't want to go back into his past. He's pretty reformed now, and he's trying to stay in this reformed life that he's made for himself. But then he gets a call from the cemetery saying that someone vandalized and kind of destroyed his son's grave, and so he goes over there. He sees it. Rage engulfs him. He calls Buddy, and he's like, let's get to it. So then now the two of them are on this journey together to try and find out what happened to their sons. What we know so far is that Ike's son, Isaiah, he was a reporter, right? He got this death threat from this group called the Blue Anarchists. They hit up their spot, right? Ike and Buddy. They get no leads from that. The group was just being stupid and dumb and just giving them a death threat, but they had nothing to do with it. So then they go to Derek's work. After some torturing, the guy there says that there was a girl that Derek was talking to. She was involved with this big name guy, and Derek told Isaiah about it, and Isaiah was going to do an interview with the girl, and the girl was going to expose everything that this big guy did, right? Well, then we get this perspective from Grayson. Who is Grayson? He's like the leader of this motorcycle gang called Rare Bleed. Rare Breed? It's called Rare Bleed or Rare Breed. I don't remember. So Grayson's kind of like the leader of this motorcycle gang, and Grayson gets a call from, I guess, someone who wanted Isaiah dead and also wanted to find the girl that was going to be interviewed by Isaiah. The guy's like, we need to find this girl. She can't ruin our plans, X, Y, and Z. Grayson's like, we haven't heard anything from her or about her. She's gone off the map since the reporter got killed. So I have a feeling that the motorcycle gang doesn't have anything to do with their murder, but we're trying to find out who did it. So Ike and Buddy get this lead about Derek talking to this girl and, you know, all this stuff. So then they go over to Isaiah and Derek's apartment. They're going through everything. Ike finds napkins with the name Garland on them and just like a bunch of numbers. So Garland is a bar, and then he goes through the numbers and goes through their phone, and there's a bunch of voicemails. Clicks on one of the voicemails, and there's a woman's voice saying, I can't do this anymore, I'm sorry, I'm scared, goodbye. And that was on the day that they were murdered, right? And then Buddy finds a note on the fridge, and there's a tangerine and an exclamation point on it, right? So he's just like, is this a doodle? I don't know what this is. Two guys come into the apartment. They are associated with Grayson. Grayson sent these two men to find out where Tangerine is. Those two people sent to the apartment. They're fighting Buddy. They almost kill Buddy. Ike comes in. Ike smashes one of the guys' heads in, and then they take one of the guys back to Ike's place of work. They're torturing him. They're trying to get information. The guy says that this guy hired him, Grayson, to find information about this girl. Her name is Tangerine. This is when Buddy shows Ike the little notepad note that he found on the fridge that had a tangerine and an exclamation mark on it. And then Ike is like, oh my god, I found all these napkins with a number, and I heard a voicemail with this girl saying that she's done, she's scared. The napkins had the name Garland on them. So then they put two and two together, like, oh, maybe they were trying to meet up at this bar so Isaiah could interview them. That's basically where I'm at right now. I'm liking it so far. There's a lot of very gritty machete. It's very violent, explicit. They just chopped up this man. It was something. But also, remember how I said there was 2 men that went into the apartment? Yeah, so they only took one of them back to Ike's work. The other one was still alive. He drives back to the rare breeds stomping grounds, I guess, and he tells them that there was these men that were already in the apartment and was hurting us. Unfortunately, he did see Ike's truck and it said the name of Ike's business on it. So now the motorcycle gang is on its way to Ike's job and things are about to get crazy. I hope Ike's not gonna die. Speaking of dying, I think Buddy's actually gonna die because he keeps coughing up this phlegm, he's coughing up this phlegm and there's blood in it. And if you know anything, I watch Breaking Bad and I know what that means. He probably has lung cancer, which is unfortunate because Buddy is so funny. The 2 dads were not in favor of their sons being gay. They keep saying
they were into this lifestyle. Oh, I don't know how my son could love this man like how I love my wife.
It's not pro LGBTQ plus. There's also some like kind of racist, ignorant tones in it. I like Buddy, but he's just a little out of touch, definitely. Ike has to explain to Buddy sometimes like, babe, I'm black, you're white. There's just some different circumstances and we are seen as different people even though we're both ex-cons. I may have a better life than you, but babe, I'm still black and I still have to go through all these ordeals that come with being black, like getting pulled over all the time, being watched when he goes into the store, stuff like that. So I really like that element of the book. There are some funny moments. I am tabbing. I'm liking this. I'm going to continue, but it is fast-paced, short chapters like I said before. I haven't read Nobody's Magic. Haven't read that today. I might read that a little later, but yeah.
Y'all, remember Grayson? I was telling you about he's like the leader of the rare breed. Oh, it's rare breed. Oops. He's the leader of the motorcycle gang rare breed. He did not just call Ike a silverback.
Like the gorilla?
Oh my god. Here, I'll do 0.5. And then porch monkey? And then proceeds to say the N-word multiple times. Here, another page.
This is what I was talking about. Very racist elements. Grayson, you need a choke. And you're glad that Ike didn't use that machete and slit your neck open.
Oh my god. But if I said your family tree ain't got no branches, you'd be ready to fight? Is that an incest joke? This, though? The heck?
So remember when I was, showing you all those clips of me reading, showing you all the racist, crazy, shocking moments, right? Yeah, so I was reading perfectly fine. Then I went to sleep. This was my setup. Tabs here, book here. My body was resting right here. Parallel. The book's just been like this for like an hour. I'm on page 140. I'm going to try to get halfway through the book, but updates. Buddy and Ike they're actually at the club, Garland's, and they're asking around if anyone knows if they know who Tangerine is, and some guy named Jeff knows who she is. So hopefully they can have a lead. Oh, also, we had a Grayson POV. Basically, Grayson and his motorcycle gang, they were hired to find Tangerine. Since that whole episode happened with one of the guys being dead, and now Buddy and Ike know who they are, the rare breeds know who they are. They actually went to Ike's job and, stuff went down, but, Ike had the machete against Grayson's neck and they backed off. They're like,
this is not the last time you'll see us.
After he literally called them the N-word and gorillas. But the person that hired the motorcycle gang to find Tangerine was like, no, don't go after them. Just wait because they're going to bring you the Tangerine. The voice, the guy realized that they had the same goal, find Tangerine. So he just told the motorcycle gang to not kill them yet and just follow them, let them do the work and find Tangerine. And then once they do find Tangerine, kill them. That's where we are now. And yeah, I'll be back with updates.
Page 202. So I met up with the guy that supposedly knew Tangerine. The guy's
security basically beat up Buddy and Ike. But you know, Buddy and Ike, knowing them in their super crazy ninja gangster style way of fighting, they win. And yeah, so they back off and they just like leave that guy alone. And then Ike says that he knows someone that might know where Tangerine is. So they go to this guy. Ike has some history with this guy. His name is Slice. Basically, Slice's brother's name was Luther. Luther, Slice, and Ike, they were all in this gang, this rival gang, killed Luther. Then Ike killed the guy who killed Luther. Ike killed him for the gang and like retribution, I guess. So that sent Ike into jail. And Slice promised Ike that his wife and his son would be taken care of and he wouldn't have to worry about anything. But Slice did not take care of the wife or the son like he said he would. And so Ike comes into the Slice's store, it's a barbershop, saying that you owe me. I never asked you for anything. You owe me for not taking care of my wife and my kids. He's like, okay. Ike tells him, bring me the guy that knows where Tangerine is. And so Slice does that. The guy who knows Tangerine is scared of Slice, and he tells Ike and Buddy everything they need to know about where Tangerine is. But the shady thing is, Slice makes a phone call. And who is this phone call to? Grayson. The same guy who is the leader of the rare breeds who tried to beat up Ike. So we know the history with Grayson. Slice calls Grayson being like, I know where Tangerine is, tells him the address, tells him everything that goes on, tells him that 2 guys are going after her. Grayson's like, oh, is there a black guy there? He was like, yeah, you know him? And Grayson was like, yeah, I know him. Are you a friend of his? Because he's about to die. Slice says, no, do what you have to do. Are you kidding me? At the end, when the guy told them everything they needed to know about Tangerine, Slice said, we're even now, and then makes the phone call. That's crazy. He said, do what you have to do. He killed the guy who killed your brother, and you're treating him like this? Slice, die. Ooh. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'll have updates for you tomorrow. Hey guys, so 250 into Razorblade Tears. I'm almost done, but this book has to be turned into a movie. It literally feels like I'm watching some action thriller adventure mystery movie on Netflix. Like explosions, guns, secrets, torture. It's crazy. This needs to get directed, written, produced, casted, premiered, streamed. I do have some updates. From what I last updated you on, I don't remember. They met Tangerine. Tangerine is a transgender woman, right? They come to the conclusion that the reason why the big music producer guy, I don't know why I said big music producer guy, that's the guy that sent them to Tangerine. The guy that wants to kill Tangerine is just like this big guy. Like, we don't know who he is yet. Wants to kill Tangerine and killed Isaiah and Derek so bad is because he didn't want the world to find out that 1, he was cheating, and 2, it was with a transgender woman, because Tangerine was, what is this? Tangerine was saying that he can't be himself when he's around his family. Also, the guy's married, so Tangerine was saying that the guy can't be himself around his family, can't be his real self to the world, so that's why he kept her a secret and wants to keep her a secret. But I kept telling her, babe, this man does not like you like you're saying he does, because if he really liked you, if he really loved you, he wouldn't want to hide you, even when you guys were doing things in secret. How secret was it? Ike said, did he make you meet up at hotels? Did he even take you to the motel? Do you have any pictures together? And Tangerine stayed quiet. I think that this man doesn't really love Tangerine, or he loves her, but he prioritizes his reputation, his family's reputation, more than he loves Tangerine. So I think that's a thing. Tangerine is not telling them who this man is. They meet Tangerine. The rare breeds shoot up Tangerine's house. Somehow Tangerine, Buddy, and Ike get away. Tangerine's been shot, so they take her back to Buddy's house. Ike calls up his wife and is like, bring the first aid kit, this, that, and the third. Ike's wife fixes up Tangerine and all that stuff. They're all talking, and then Tangerine wakes up. Ike and Buddy are like, we need to take her somewhere safe where no one's gonna find her, because Ike started to care for her in some way. Maybe he's doing with Tangerine what he couldn't do for Isaiah, his son, right? So they're driving, they split up. Ike takes Tangerine to one of his co-workers' house, and Buddy is at his home with Ike's wife and their granddaughter. Ike's wife gets a call from their neighbor saying your house is on fire. Buddy was like, they're lying. They're lying. This is a trap. We're not going. Maya is Ike's wife. She says, no, all my things of Isaiah are in there. Those are the only things I have left of him. I need to go. Buddy says, okay. They drive down to the house. The house is clearly not on fire, but who was there? The gang, the motorcycle gang, the Rare Breeds, Grayson and all those people. They chase Buddy, Maya, and Ariana. Ariana is Buddy and Ike's granddaughter. Isaiah and Derek's daughter. They chase them down. The car flips over. Buddy has blood spewing out of his mouth. Maya's back might be broken. Ariana's crying in the back. They call her a half-breed. You're going to jail. I hate you all. They take the baby and they threaten Buddy, being like, do you know where Tangerine is? Where is she? Buddy says, Ike didn't tell me where he was taking her. So they take Ariana as collateral and they tell Buddy, find out where she is, and then you'll get Ariana back. And that's where we are. And now we're at the hospital because Maya's back is broken. I'll get back to you. I don't know if Grayson was telling the truth, but when he went to go pick up Ariana from the back seat, he says, this is Ariana. So that's who he was calling out for. I'm figuring the white one was yours, right? Yeah, right before I shot her in the face, he said her name. Is the motorcycle crew the ones who killed them and the producer put them up to it? I'm confused. I will come back. What? First of all, why is the flash on? Second of all, this police officer, if you change your mind, you know how to reach us. And if you don't change your mind, you might want to get ready for another funeral. That wasn't funny. This, during Black History Month, death penalty, immediately. Do y'all remember the tombstone that was destroyed and had a bunch of racist and homophobic slurs on it? I'm pretty sure I told you guys. Guess who did that? Buddy. To get Ike to do this with him. To find out who killed their boys. He did that. Now, is that messed up? Absolutely. But do I get it? Maybe. I know who did it. It's Gerald. It's Buddy's wife's husband. He's the mayor. That makes so much sense. Protects his reputation. He's the mayor. He's gonna be running for governor. We got him. Y'all, this literally makes so much sense because Gerald didn't accept Derek for who he was, which is gay, right? But Derek would call him a hypocrite and an asshole because you put me out the house when we're into the same thing. He was probably jealous of Derek because Derek was out there living his real truth and Gerald couldn't. Y'all, so I finished this excellent book, Razorblade Tears, and I actually almost cried tears at the end because tell me why Buddy Lee died. You know, you just have a character that you just love so much and that you respect his character growth, and then he's just taken. That's really cute. I actually really love that feeling. But I think I'm gonna rate this like a 4.5. It was really, really good. To tell you guys what happened, so we know it was Gerald, Derek's stepdad, who ordered the Rare Breeds to kill Derek and Isaiah and also Tangerine. Buddy and Ike, they got this barn from one of Derek's half-brothers and they set the whole thing up, put bombs and different things in it. And they made the trade. Oh, they actually got Gerald's father because Gerald is such a daddy's boy. Is that what it is? They took Gerald's father in exchange for Ariana instead of Tangerine for Ariana. So they got this barn. The motorcycle gang showed up, did the trade. Then everyone started shooting. Ike pressed this button and the shit blew up and then everybody died. But Grayson somehow found Ariana and Buddy went to go kill Grayson, and at the same time as he was going to kill him, the gun that Grayson had went off and shot Buddy. And Buddy did have cancer, which is unfortunate. I really love the ending minus Buddy dying. Tangerine works at Ike's lawnmower business and they're all like a big family right now, and I really love that. And I think the character growth that Buddy Lee and Ike had throughout this entire book from beginning to end is honestly great to see. Beautiful. I just love the fact that Ike went from being so homophobic and to the point where he disowned his son and stopped talking to him and treated him like he was doo-doo on the street, to literally having a person of the LGBTQ plus community work for him and also come into his family. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, this was a great book. I highly recommend. I'm gonna read his other book that he has, Blacktop Wasteland. I'm sweating. Plot twist. I'm actually reading Wash Day Diaries. Babe, this girl Tanisha, there's this guy. He's so amazing. His name is Daniel. Well, from the little I read about him, he's great. He was like, I know we've been on and off for years, but I want to make things official. And she's like, oh, wow. And he was like, good oh, wow, or bad oh, wow? And she was like, I just don't know. I'm surprised. And he was like, no, you don't have to give me an answer yet. Just like tell me later, like when we catch up. This other man comes up to her and he's a big fan of her work. I'm not really sure what she does. And he was like, are you here alone? She was like, I am now. Can you see what I'm seeing? My favorite story so far has been Kim's. Like her little wash day. That reminded me so much of like my wash day. Oh, so I just finished Wash Day Diaries. I've never sat down and spontaneously read a book in one sitting. This was so good. The amount of times I was like, literally me. Or like, this is so relatable. The wash day alone carried the book. I love Kim. Kim is my favorite character. But I related to each of them in some way. Especially like the group chat thing when Tanisha was telling them her story about the two guys she was messing with. This is all around an amazing book. This needs to be continued. Please? Why wouldn't we continue this? 5,000,000 stars. I want more. I will get more some way, somehow. Highly recommend to all Black girls out there. While I was reading, I was just like, I get that. Or I literally go through that. And I feel like a lot of Black girls have a lot of shared experiences. So to see that in literature and also in a way that I've never read before, which is a graphic novel, it was great. And makes me want to not only read more graphic novels, but also more from these authors. See you guys in the next update. Alright, y'all. So I haven't talked to you guys in like a week, maybe more than that. But I continued Nobody's Magic because I think I was reading it before I picked up Razorblade Tears. And then I was like, forget this book, I'm gonna finish it. And then, why can't I breathe? And then I picked up Wash Day Diaries, finished that. So then I took a week off of reading and then I was like, let me get back into this. So then I got back into it. I'm 50% through it. But then I got bored and I was like, nah, this isn't happening. So then I picked up this other book called Terms of Inheritance, and that's really good, and I'm gonna finish that. I decided to end the vlog here because unfortunately Black History Month is almost over, which is sick and disgusting. Actually, no, it's not, because Black History Month is every month. I don't even really like this book, so it's not even I'm sad or anything. First of all, this book is not about albino sisters. I don't know where I got that from. This is about three albino sisters. They are definitely not sisters. I just said that. I don't know why. Anyway, but I went to this book thinking that they were sisters. Definitely not. It's about 3 albino Black women in Louisiana, and it's like they're separate stories. So it's just 3 short stories about Suzette, Maple, and who's the other girl? Agnes. So I read Suzette's story. First was just about her meeting this guy named Donnie. Donnie works at her dad's mechanic shop. You know, they have a liking towards each other, but Suzette's dad is very like obsessive, protective over her, over an incident that happened when she was young. Someone tried to cut out her eyes, and from then on he's kind of apprehensive to the fact of her going out and doing something, being her own person. It's borderline disgusting kind of, because he just deters her and takes away any opportunity that she has to be independent. Like, he hasn't let her get her driver's license, get a car, get a job, go to college, homeschools her, which that makes sense, but I think she's 20 now. Babe, can you let her get her license? Can you let her get a job at least? Why do you want to just keep her sheltered in the house? I get it, you're scared, but that's not good. She does have a mom, and the mom kind of lets this happen, but towards the end of the book, she kind of breaks out of that shell and kind of helps Suzette get where she needs to go, and so does Donnie, but that's literally where it ends, but whatever. So that was like a 3.5, and then this next person I'm reading, Maple, her mom gets shot. We're kind of trying to find out who did it, and also going along with Maple on the grieving process and how she's grieving. And then there's the other girls who, and what? Oh, she's gonna meet someone, Chad, who may understand her pain. Babe, where's Chad? Because I'm like halfway through her chapter. And then Agnes, I don't know, I thought this book was just gonna be much better. Mid. I'll finish it though. The book that I'm reading right now, Terms of Inheritance, I'm not gonna jinx it, but it's really good. I'm sensing one of my new favorite books, but let's knock on wood. Yeah, so that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if I should do more of these. I love doing reading vlogs. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your Black History Month. And if you are not Black, then celebrate Black lives and appreciate them and honor them.